Okay, let's talk about our captains this week. Offensively, it's Homer again. Can you believe that? The guy's been amazing. Even not practicing every single day last week. When he wasn't practicing, he's paying attention. When he did practice Thursday, he did a great job. And then he's just a tough, physical, smart, responsible football player, and really proud of what he did. Tito was on defense, a captain. Tito played about as well as you could play against that offense, especially in being right in the middle of it, being that nose guard that he played the majority of the game there. He just did a super job and made a lot of plays. A lot of times you just want that guy to hold the line and not necessarily just keep from getting moved, let alone splitting double teams and get some tackles for loss and things of that nature. And then Shaq Quarterman, the other captain on defense, if you watched the game, you saw him flash a bunch, had a bunch of big hits, bunch of big shots. And then Blades, special teams. The kid really cares. He keeps showing up every day with a great attitude. He sees what his role is right now, and he wants to help the team win, and he's doing a wonderful job there. So really, bless you. Fine job there. Okay, now we'll talk about our opponent, Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech returns 11 starters, 7 on offense, 4 on defense. Coach Fuente's third season there, has done a wonderful job there. Offensively, they historically, if they score 30 points a game, they're 15-2. That's what they're averaging right now, 29.8, averaging 431 yards per game. They're averaging 261 yards a game through the air, and they got 21 touchdown passes with only 5 picks. They rank first in the ACC and 10th nationally in red zone offense, 20 touchdowns and 27 trips. And they've scored 25 out of 27 overall. Their starting quarterback, Willis, started since game 4. He ranks 4th in the ACC in pass efficiency. He's got 16 touchdowns to only 4 picks, so 4-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, which is great, 1,700 yards. And he actually has 229 yards rushing. I think he might even be second on the team in rushing with 2 touchdowns rushing the ball. So doing a great job there. Running back, Peoples, number 32, leads the team in rushing, 548 yards. He's got 5 touchdowns. Hazelton, number 14, he's 6'2", 222, very big man, leads the team in receptions with 40. Receiving yards with 687, and he's got 8 touchdown receptions, which is number 1 in the ACC. Their tight end, Keene, number 29, has got 15 catches for 222 yards, 2 touchdowns. Their offensive line starts 3 seniors. So that's what we're dealing with on offense. Their defense is giving up 31 points a game and 447 yards per game. Defensive end, Gaines, number 11, unfortunately for him, was hurt, but he was leading the defensive line in tackles and tackles for loss. We were sorry to hear that he was injured. That's not good for anybody. Ashby, number 23, leads the team in tackles with 63, including 7.5 tackles for loss. Rivers got 31 tackles. Floyd's got 59 tackles, 8.5 tackles for loss, and 2 picks. And it's his 35th game, going into his 35th game. Special teams, Johnson, their extra point field goal guy, has made every single PAT. He's 7 out of 11 with field goals with a long of 45 this year. Bradburn, their punter, ranks 3rd in the league with almost 43 yards a punt. He's had 14 inside the 20 and a 72-yarder as a long one. Hazelton, I mentioned before, is their punt returner. Is averaging 4.5. Wheatley, number 24, leads the team with kickoff returns, 25.5 yards per. And then one other thing in their special teams, Jordan Stout, number 92, is their kickoff man. He's hit 46 out of 50 kicks either out of the end zone or into the end zone for a touchback. So 92% has got to be, if it's not number one in the nation, it's got to be close. So I don't know if we should have practiced kickoff return this week with that guy, but really, really outstanding player. So that's what we're up against. We're looking forward to the challenge. Both teams obviously hadn't won in a while. Everybody's battling for that victory, and I can promise you our guys are battling, our coaches are battling, and we're looking forward to another opportunity to play a game.
Mark, I had one big picture question today. Thanks
Sure.
for being a good sport about these sort of questions. As you look
Maybe
forward,
not today, but
okay. As you look forward, do you still feel convinced that the offense you've run for 30 years is the best approach, or do you ever think the spread scoring so many points in college football today, there's so many fast athletes in South Florida, maybe we should give that thought?
I'm not thinking about any of that right now. So you can ask that question at the appropriate time, and I'll answer it then. How about that?
Mark,
Let's focus on this game and this season.
that's not our focus.
Okay, well,
You've said in the past that improving this team, everything's on the table, bringing in players.
yeah.
If you brought in a graduate transfer quarterback, what do you say to the players here to compete for any position?
Yeah.
Graduate transfers come in with the expectation
Yeah.
that they're going to start.
Well, we've never brought in a graduate transfer and promised them he'd start. We've never done that. We've only promised an opportunity to compete. And then they look at the situation and decide whether they think that situation is one that makes sense to them, and that's what they do. But, you know, the bottom line is we are always trying to build our roster through any means that's legal, and that means it helps us be stronger because competition creates better play, and that's what we're looking for. So I'm not talking specific to any position, as I know you guys want me to, but if any time a graduate transfer has come to this program, he's always been promised an opportunity to play, an opportunity to win a job. But we've never said, hey, you come in here, you're gonna start for us. We've never done that, and you can't do that. It's not right. It's not fair to anybody.
So there's not a conversation with the players at that position, again, any position, there's not a conversation with the players already there that might be playing? It's as if you're...
We don't ask anybody's permission to do that. You know, we bring in, we recruit every year. You know, we recruit every year at all positions. We recruit high school kids. We look at junior college kids. We look at graduate transfers. We look at guys that might transfer that aren't graduates. I think everybody in America is doing that. So we're not doing anything different than anybody else.
Mark, how do you handle the younger players who might not understand that and might be upset when they hear so-and-so is visiting or whatever, anybody at any position, and
Yeah.
they make it known that they're a little upset and you know, loyalty and all that stuff. Do you
Yeah.
talk to the guys?
We haven't talked to anybody in specific about whatever you're talking about. So
Talk about
there may come a time that you have to have a discussion about whatever it may be. But right now, I've not sat anybody down and had a discussion with anybody about anything.
And what quarterbacks are you tempted at all to use Jaron or Cade this week?
I'm tempted to try to win the game. How about that? I guess people don't see that as a premium, but I do.
How important, the players at the end of the game talking about, we have 2 games left, you know, Quan was very vocal on social media about I'm a leader, anybody,
Right.
make sure everybody is out there giving their best.
Amen.
What have you seen these 2 days, and
Oh, yeah.
what is the morale like now that you've had a couple of days with them?
Well, first of all, any day like today, which is smoking hot, it's a battle to get through practice because the environment. We know that you know it's going to be a situation where when it's hot and humid, we all got to grind, and that's what everybody's doing, was battling. And I saw no signs of anybody not wanting to do their very best. And I think everybody wants to have a victory. I think everybody wants to see their teammates smile in the locker room when the game's over. I think that's bigger than a lot of people might think, as for how important it is to be able to celebrate in the locker room after a win, a hard-fought battle. and that's what we're shooting for right now.
Mark, how's the recruiting holding up? And as the leader of the program,
Yeah.
in a tough time like this, do you get more personally involved?
I get personally involved a lot, but anytime I think you just got to keep communicating with everybody, and you just don't know where everything's going to land. But you can only do what you can do, and that is continue to paint a picture of what's going to happen here in the future and how they fit into their future. And we're doing that diligently. Did you have a question?
Yes, you all went through a 4-game losing streak your first year. How often have you tapped into that and just how the team bounced back? Or look to some of the seniors that were on.
I didn't say anything about that at this point, but those seniors did live through that, most of them. Obviously, a guy like Tito didn't, but most everybody did. And I think they all know how quickly, things can turn around. I mean, after losing four in a row, I don't know if anybody would have predicted 15 in a row, and I'm not predicting that either. You know what I mean? No one would be. I'm not going to make some kind of wild prediction at all, but I do know that back then we stayed the course. Back then we stuck together. Back then we kept fighting. Back then we didn't push the panic button like a lot of people want you to do. So what we're doing now is very similar to what we did then.
Is the subject of all eligibility even come up?
I haven't mentioned it to the team yet. I think people talk about it. I think the kids talk about it, but I haven't sat down and said, "Hey, we got to win one more to get in the bowl." I think they all know that, but that might be more of something I might say to them, later on in the week as we get closer to the game.
I know just one game, but did Kosi turn a corner at Georgia Tech?
I think he did. I think he did a lot of really good things. He did a lot of really good things. And the thing that I liked the best, truthfully, there's a lot of things I liked. I just liked how he threw the ball with confidence. There were some really fine, big league kind of throws that he made. He made the right decisions for the most part as far as going to the right guy with the ball. I can only think of one time that he missed a situation that he could have had that he missed. But I liked just his demeanor during the game. I liked when I was communicating with him in between plays. He could recall what's happening. He could tell you what he did and why he did it and what he saw. And he was on top of it. Where, in the Virginia game, I didn't see that. People are like, what was the difference? Well, the difference was, I thought that moment got too big for him. That's what I thought happened, and I felt like I gotta be careful not to just keep him in there for his sake and our sake. So I made the change, and then now he's back in there, and I saw a different guy in there, and I think he's learned to prepare better as well. So I think he's turning the corner. I don't know if he's turned the corner, but I think he's turning the corner.
Mark, I know you've said this a few times, but as
Okay.
far as Jaron goes,
Yeah.
I know it's come to the end of the season now.
Yeah.
Any thoughts, if you can, of getting
Before the season's over, we might get him in there. We might get him in there. I don't know what you want me to say. I mean, if it's 14-14 and it's a battle royal to the end, I'm not going to just slip him in there because the rule says I can. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to predict. He does well. He's getting better. He's growing.
Anything else, guys?
All right, good. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yep.